A flash. There we go. Cool, they added a flash feature. Alright, gonna wait for people to come in. Show off this Onondaga Chert arrow. Hunting arrow. Needle tip. There is a dog next door that I have not heard all summer. So I'm finishing packing up camp here in Vermont, and I'm kind of out of breath from lifting super heavy stuff. Made this Onondaga Chert arrow, blue sinew, blue feathers to match the Onondaga. Perfect little hunting point. So I'm going to be making more stuff like this. This was made from a flake. You could see the notches are here, goes down to here. It's as thin as I could get it. And I'm going to work on more stuff for arrows, I think. Alright, so I cleaned up my flake pile. I'm gonna work on this, I think. See if I could get one more nice hunting arrow out of something. Kind of junky piece, but we'll see what we could do. Alright. There's a crack in there. Right in the side. So let's try to work that down. I did not get rid of it. Right, hold on. Cracked piece here. So it looks like most of this is not too good. Well, maybe it is. It looks pretty glossy in there. We'll try this piece first to see how it goes. Let's see, is it big enough to... It's going to be a little smaller. Making arrowheads for hunting. It's a new dog next door, apparently. I've not heard it all summer long. And I'm getting ready to leave this camp. Just pretty much packed everything up. Alright, we flatten that out. And get rid of this. It looks like there's a crack down the middle. There is. Okay. There it is. Does it end there? Looks like it ends there. Let's see about this super irregular piece here. Oh, comments already. Let me flip this around to read. This is Onondaga Chert from New York State. Day has been busy. I just drove close to probably 500 miles to pick up a new truck to tow the RV with. And then I lifted a whole bunch of heavy stuff, so that's why I'm a little late tonight with the live stream. I'm going to be moving the RV pretty freaking far soon. This piece seems good. This section here, it's going to be another narrow point though. Narrow arrowhead. So what I'm doing with the stone is I'm making arrowheads for hunting. This is the same stone. It's Onondaga chert. Blue feathers, blue sinew to match the gray and blue point. I'm trying to make as many as I can before I pack up and leave. This piece seems okay. I don't know about the base. This piece is loose in there. I don't know what's up with that dog. I've never heard a dog here. I've been here for months. I need a heavier billet, so I'm gonna use a bigger one. Let me know if the lighting is okay. I got a new flash system set up here, so when the sun goes down, I can still live stream. See you later. Sorry, reading the comments upside down. Takes me a minute. So we got some limestone in the base. It'll still work though. As long as it holds together, which it should. Not seeing a ton of problems in this rock. Gonna make this the tip, this the base. There is a crack in here, so we'll get rid of that. Get rid of the cracks early. It looks like there's a lot of junk in here. We'll see what we could do though. That doesn't want to go. There we go. Did I get it? Still a lot of junk in there. Should be able to clean it up though. It's a crack. I think that's a quartz crystal inclusion in there. So that might break the point. We'll have to see. See how it goes. It's pretty deep. Let's see how it looks in there before I go further. I'm going to try to remove this whole piece where that line is. Come on. Man, that's really junky in there. Come on. All right. Yeah, that loosened it. Still a line in there. We'll have to see as we go along if it's usable or not. If it breaks, no big deal. There's the break. Let's see, can I still use it? I could still use it. It's not gonna look as cool as this other one though. Let's see. Maybe. I'll still try, I guess. Okay. Man, there's a lot of problems in this one. See if we could still use it or not. It's gonna be a tiny arrowhead if so. I'm gonna switch to a different piece. Yeah, there's too much inclusions in there. All right, let's see. Let's try this piece. This is off the same, like literally the same piece, and I do see some more lines in here. So I'm gonna grab a bigger block, which I have right over here. So here's where those flakes are coming off of. If I hit here, there's a big crystal crack going through this whole piece. I'm gonna try to separate it. Let's see if it'll crack along that line or not. Man, that goes all the way through. All right, let's see. I got a knife blade out of this piece yesterday. I'm gonna use the knife blade a lot. Got it in my wallet. A nice big hand knife. I might put a little tiny piece of wood on this. And maybe a little sheath, just a little nub of a knife handle. And wrap it in some leather. Stitch it up. And this came right off of here. So I'll keep trying to work down on this piece. See if I could split it along this quartz crystal imperfection. I kind of a little bit did. I didn't flute it as good as I should have, but it's fine for me to use. So that's a decent piece. Put that on the side. And then we got another crack right here. Well, not crack, but quartz vein. That's a nice blowgun flake. Make a blow dart spear point out of that. Yeah, this is supposedly the toughest chert, Onondaga chert. Everybody makes jokes about it. Friends don't let friends nap Onondaga. This is Onondaga. And surprisingly, it's one of my favorite stones when it doesn't have all these problems. Let's see how it looks under the crystal imperfection here. Yeah, that's pretty good still. I've just been flaking these into blow darts and arrowhead spear points. Smells like oil. It's really strong. Like it's really bad. Like really strong, really bad. Let's see. I don't know if I want to work this whole piece or knock it. Like, I don't know if I want to make one arrowhead out of the whole piece or just knock a bunch of flakes off to... Because this is like the last big piece I have. So I think I might just try to get as many of these types of arrowheads as I can for hunting. We'll see. I'm not sure what I'm doing with it yet. I might biface it. I might biface it. It's kind of, I don't know, it's kind of weird. If I hit here, drive this ridge off, then I'm left with a narrow, long piece. I already made 2 knives, so I think I'm going to take flakes off and use this as like a core and make arrowheads out of the flakes. Blow dart points. That's good. Good size for blow dart. So far, my entire cup holder is filled with flakes in my chair here. You know, I'm going to use a smaller billet. If I could find it. It's dark out here. Here we go. All right. Let's see. Yeah, I hear that a lot. Most of those are no good. This is good. I'm going to keep that. I'm going to keep this big one. Might try to flake an arrowhead out of this one right now, actually. It looks pretty good. Let's give it a try. Keep that flake. Pull my tools out. I'll flake it with an antler, I think. We'll see how it goes. Yeah, that's super tough. I got this ridge here. Might break this piece off because it's a high flat piece and then it's high on that side. Use the indirect stick. See if I can fix this up. I think I'm gonna make this the tip of the arrowhead. Yeah, I showed some in yesterday's live and I got one in my pocket made of the same rock. Off that piece that I just dropped on the ground here. Came off of this. So I'm just working this down into knife blades and arrowheads. As many as I could make. That's going to be my own personal knife for hunting season. I think that last little one is perfect size for me. So one of the things when you're using the indirect like this, it's taking little flakes off like that, but it's also putting a lot of pressure right in the middle, and it might snap in half. We'll see if it does or not. Just trying to make this, get rid of this lump on here. Takes some planning to get the shape you want. Alarms still go off when you're on live, apparently. So that didn't detach. I took a flake off here, but it didn't come off all the way. That's weird. I'll try to do this one pretty quickly. Just shape it. Get a nice arrowhead shape. The thinner the flake, the more delicate it is. Like if it hits something, it'll probably snap if I make it long. If I shorten it a little, it should hold together. This is pretty tough stone, but it's easy to break while you're working on it, which is really strange. Man, it just got really quiet out here. What the heck? Say the snap there. So, could make this into a pretty easy arrowhead. Not as big as the other one, but it'll work. So, depending on the law of what state you're in, arrowheads have to be here wider than my fingernail. So like 7/8 of an inch, which this has plenty of room if it doesn't break. Show you how I can make lots of arrowheads and knives out of one chunk of stone, as long as it holds together. This stuff is found in a creek, so it has damage and stuff inside of the stone that you can't see until you're working on it. So I'm going kind of easy. So we start working on the other side because that side is not going. There we go. All right, what to do? This is not going to be anywhere near as long as the other hunting point, but it'll still do the job. I just need a super sharp tip and sharp cutting edges, which is not hard to do with this stone. And right now I'm just shaping it and sharpening the edges. Taking flakes off both sides as gently as I can so I don't snap it. See how it's like serrated on both sides now? We don't want it any shorter, so I gotta be careful not to break the tip of the base. This arrowhead is nice and thin. It's got one thick spot here, but I'm gonna try to fix that. I'll actually try to fix it right now. Alright, so I hit pretty hard, and the flake went right here, and it thinned it out a little bit. Now I'm going to do again right next to it. I'm pressing into the rock, and I'm going to hit at an angle downwards. And then you can see the flake detached right there and thinned it out more. Alright, and then one more on the opposite side. Same thing. That one didn't go very far, but that's okay. See if I could find my copper pressure flaker. There it is. So all the tools I'm using, with the exception of the antlers, is in the product list of this video, if anybody's interested in seeing what I'm using. Alright, gotta make sure it's even. All right, so I'm gonna take off this rounded edge here to make it more triangular. It's getting there. I'm gonna have to take this little ear off. Lose some width. It's still longer than my thumbnail, so good to go. The thinner you make it, the more likely it is to break. So I often try to keep it a little thick. But like this one, I went like ultra thin on it. Oh, I crushed it. That stinks. All right. There's a crystal pocket in here. Can you guys see that? Right there and there. I think I'm gonna keep those in. All right. What did I do with my pressure flaker now? There it goes. I'm using deer hide and goat hide to protect my hand when I'm flaking. So I'm gonna shape the base. The style of arrowhead I'm going for with this piece is called a Lavana. Let's see if we can make a decent one. The spot with the crystal is kind of like how it looks, so I'm gonna keep it. But just make sure it's straight. Then I want the base to have kind of like a V-shaped indent to fit the wooden shaft into. I just want to make it even. Good enough. All right. Quick flake point. Let's see how it looks compared to the other one. It's shorter if we hafted it that deep. It's a little tiny bit thicker. And It's about the exact same width. So I'm gonna keep this one, put it in my pocket along with the knife. So in my shirt pocket, don't let me forget it's there, I'll cut myself. And try to take another flake off of this thing. It's getting kind of small now. I'm gonna use antler. See how that takes a flake compared to the copper. That busted up. About the same exact flake. What the heck? All right. I'll work on that one as well. It looks like it has some problems. We'll see if it holds together. I want to try to keep it longer, so hopefully it don't snap in half like the last one did. Knocking little tiny flakes off when I'm doing that. Let's see how it goes. So I'm going to be doing as many lives as I can before I head out on the road in search of new material to make into arrowheads like this. I'm going to be leaving in a few days. It's going to be quite a different change of scenery from my normal. All right, shaping the tip. It's a little curved. I think I'm going to try pressure flaking this one and hope it don't snap. Oh yeah, somebody mentioned if you want to like the video, you double tap the screen to like it. For this format, a lot of people are not sure how to do that, from what I hear. And then I have no idea how you could subscribe. But if you know how to subscribe, subscribe, because I got some real cool stuff coming up. I'm going to be moving for about 4 months to look for different kinds of rock to make arrowheads and stone tools from. I have a bunch of videos, different locations. I have one in Ohio, I have one in New York, I have one in Vermont, one in New Hampshire, of looking for rock to make arrowheads from. One thing people keep asking me to show while I'm thinking of it is the flint and steel. I carry one in my wallet, striker, just to show, does this stuff make sparks? Stuff you find in creeks. Pretty good sparks. Yeah, that's pretty nice. Put that back in my wallet. So again, trying to make sets of these kind of arrows. It's about the same length. Got to get it way thinner. Man, temperature's dropping quick here in Vermont. It's like jacket weather. There's a curve to it. There is. Okay. This should work. I don't see many flaws in the stone. Does not look like it's going to break. As long as I don't use the indirect stick near the bottom. What I'm doing with this is I'm going around the edges and shaping and sharpening. How does it taste? Kind of like oil. Like exactly how it smells. Ugh. Just got to make sure you get the curve out of it because you don't want to fire an arrowhead that's curved. Yeah, the stuff about this kind of flint, chert, whatever you want to call it, it smells like petroleum or like oil as you're napping it inside the rock. Man, that's got a crazy curve to it now. I have to take the base off a little bit. I've been doing it for somewhere between 17 and 20 years. So with this particular rock, it is still hard for me to get the curve out. That's a pretty big curve. Just try your best with it. Let's see. Yeah, I'm gonna have to take the base off, I think. Maybe not. We'll see what happens. Super curve. Come in at the tip. Push a flake down the tip. Sometimes that helps. See, I took a flake right down the center. And now that's a little straighter. That's still curved. Once you know the mechanics of the rock and you have a good idea of which way it's going to flake, it's not incredibly hard to guess what the rock is going to do. But still, it'll throw you surprises. Still pretty curved. Alright, I gotta take some of the tip off. I'm gonna do that with the indirect. If I break it, I break it. Is there a certain weight you're looking for? I know some people weigh the grains of their arrows and all, but I've not really done that. I successfully, last season, hunted a cottontail rabbit, shooting all different kinds of sized arrows, and I didn't notice much of a difference in flight or in variability of where I was aiming. It all seemed to fly exactly where I was shooting. But I have a pretty powerful bow. It's about 70 pounds. It might be less now because it's old. Trying to straighten the tip. Probably going to wind up breaking it off. See that curve in the tip? That's bad. The bow is currently inside, but if you look at one of my long form videos, it's right in the very beginning of my intros. The introduction to it has music and all that. You see me fire it into a tree. Testing the durability of this stuff. And also, I believe it's in my rabbit hunt video. Slowly getting the curve out. It's being a pain. Getting there. This part is really causing a problem for the straightness. This is the hardest thing for me, is taking a flake and trying to get it straight. I have a much easier time with like bifaces or large pieces of rock and working that down rather than trying to do this. But I'm also learning how to do this better by forcing myself to use the flakes. So it's been a little bit of a learning experience for me as well. Did that get it? That almost got it. Let me try right here. Okay. Try taking these flakes off this way. That helped. One more here. It's not going to be as big as the other one, I think. I'm straightening it. I'm going to have to flip around the camera to read this one. Just the randomness of this media. I'm currently sitting behind a belt sander finishing edges on a similar size concrete pieces. Are you trying to straighten it? That would be an interesting coincidence. Let's see. So this piece needs to come off. So sometimes in these pieces is limestone, and the limestone kind of gets in the way of the flaking. It just doesn't want to go. Yeah. See that little imperfection in there? A little bit of limestone right there. Okay. I think with this one, I'm going to go for another triangular point. Man, that curve is terrible. Trying to not remove the whole tip, but I might have to. It's getting straighter. This is literally like the problem I have with flakes. But I'm learning. It's working. So I am happy with it. All right. It's kind of dark out here. I can't find my stuff. You know what? Let me try to use antler. Just doesn't want to go. There's one. So I'm gonna flake down on the base to create a spot for me to hit. There we go. Much straighter. The spot's still curved. About that. Okay, I'm gonna use the indirect to try to get rid of that piece. Just doesn't want to go. I'm hitting hard too. Damn, I slept. Goes a little bit of it. Come on. All right, let's try to straighten the base a little bit. Dangerous part, when you're hitting on the base, you're putting stress in the middle of the point. Sometimes it explodes. Yeah, indirect Ishii stick. Everything I'm using is in the product list. And if you click products, it should just all pop right up. Should is the keyword. So when I say indirect, I'm not hitting the rock directly. I'm hitting this, and this is hitting the rock. So indirectly hitting the rock, I guess is a good way to say it. Okay, let's see. Come on. Man, this is like the toughest piece I've worked yet. Just is not agreeing with anything I'm doing. The curve is so bad on this. That piece came off. All right. What did I do with the regular pressure flaker? Here it is. There we go. That came off. And this one is just gonna keep the curve, I guess. What the heck? That work? Almost. Almost got it. If I could get rid of this one little bump, it'll look a lot better. right here is where I need to remove. That's better. I guess it's just gonna have a slight twist to it. Either that or we have to make it smaller. Besides the curve, it looks pretty good. Let's bring the tip down. I'm gonna get rid of some of the tip. Kind of crunching it rather than flaking it, because there's a lot of limestone in this piece. It's supposed to, like, when you're pressure flaking, you're supposed to hear like a snapping sound, not so much a crushing sound. But this stuff is very, very tough. That got rid of some of it. We're gonna have a small point here by the end. No, it should still be okay. Twice the length of my fingernail. There we go. That's gonna help a little bit. That flake there, could do another one right next to it. Probably gonna break it. There we go. Let's see if I could get rid of that little bump. Looks like it's not gonna cooperate. What does it say? I'm reading the comments upside down. Hold on. Share with your buddies and subscribe. Making a Flint arrowhead. Yeah, thanks, Brian. Jump on here at the top. Find the thumbs up if you're watching from a phone. And what am I doing? I am making arrowheads out of stone to hunt with. Let me see. I might have just messed up my... Alright, so I can't do that. Hold on. Okay, fixed it. Sorry about that. So I'm making arrowheads to hunt with. I'm trying to make them all around the same size, but it's not working out that way. But that's okay. They'll all do good for hunting. Blue feathers. Yeah, as soon as I took the flake off, I saw it was curved. Normally I would just toss it, but this is like a rare, really high quality piece of Onondaga chert. Onondaga chert is from New York State. You could find it in creeks, and this is the best I've seen so far. So I don't want to waste any, and I want a set of arrows made from this stuff. Look, it cut me. I didn't even notice. Yeah, it's super tough. That's one of the reasons I like the cherts from New York, is it could take a lot of abuse, so if you miss and you hit a tree, you don't ruin the point. That's quite a bit straighter. Just got to bring this piece in. As far as I know, in the Northeast here, you just need an archery license. And I would check to see if it says no stone. If it says no stone, they're not going to let you hunt with it. And if you're carrying it, you'll probably get in trouble. So the problem with that thick curb spot is there's limestone in there. You see that there? That spot? So I'm trying to push through limestone. And limestone fights you on flaking. And there was some here, but I got rid of a lot of it. Try one more flake right there. See, I'm pushing off these little tiny flakes. Let's see what this long comment says. It's crazy they got so good at making them thousands of years ago. They would make almost identical. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to get good at with the kind of core technology. I'm just pulling flakes off a base piece of rock and trying to make them all as similar as I can. I'm finding that a lot of them are snapping in half because they're so thin. But see, I snapped this piece in half. I think. No, I didn't snap this piece in half. This one just wasn't as big. I don't know what happened there. It's as big as the tip, but I'm missing the base. Not too bad. Keep working on this. See if I could make the base any better. Got one flake to run there. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a V notch, a little indent to put the stick in and be able to haft it. And that should solve some of the problem, at least I would think. Man, this flake is really fighting me. See the difference in material there? See that dust? That's what I'm trying to get through. The opposite side flakes just fine. This side does not. It's much straighter now. It still dips down there. This side's kind of straight. The other side's not. Looks nice. I think I'm going to keep this one. Yeah, I'm just making a bunch of them. Knife blades, arrowheads. Made maybe 5 on yesterday's live. And these are razor sharp. Hey, there's the last commenter there is the guy that gifted me the box of this stuff. Let's see here. I want to show a cut test, but I don't want to ruin my good leather. So I'm looking for my cruddy piece right here. So this is goat hide. It's still pretty tough. Put it under my leg. I'm going to take a little corner. Make sure you guys could see the knife blade. Pull tight because it's tanned leather. Let's see. This piece might be too short now. I keep cutting it. Still pretty sharp, and I cut a bunch of times with this now. Does not need to be sharpened. Thick, kind of thick tanned hide. Actually gonna try this thicker piece. I just want to see what's under this junky part here. Thinking about what tool to use on this piece. This would be another triangular point if I can get anything out of it. There's a lot of limestone right in this piece, so try to get rid of that right off the bat. Looks a little damaged in there, not too bad. Let's just see if I could get rid of this big bump on the back. Yep. Made spearheads, arrowheads, knife blades. Sent one to spearhead to Ryan Gill at Hunt Primitive. He also has a YouTube page, and he uses this stuff to hunt. I sent him one, and he stabbed a pig with it. Wild pig. So top half of it is damaged, but we could get rid of that possibly fairly easily. See how it goes. Just curious if I could get something out of such an irregular piece like this. So I took the tip off. Knocked a good bit of that away. I could probably keep going, but this piece might be too small for an arrowhead. There we go. Got through most of the bad stuff. There's a lot of weather damaged rock in there. Let's see if I could salvage it. Sometimes you can, sometimes you can't. Cleaned up this edge. Crack through the stone here. Might be able to make a small arrowhead out of this. We'll see. Got rid of most of the damaged stuff in there. Keep going with it, see if I could push it. Gonna make a little triangle point from this, we'll see. This looks like it might work. I'll know in a minute. All right. Yeah, there's a ton of different stones you could use. Chalcedony, jasper, flint, chert, obsidian, even glass. Anything that breaks in what's called a conchoidal fracture, which is like almost like glass. Like if you break a corner of a glass cup, looks very similar to how this would break. Just be careful if you're using glass. Sticks in your fingers. Damaged piece in there. Don't think I'm going to be able to get it out with antler. So I'll use copper again. Yeah, I kind of want to see, like, can I actually make something out of a freeze damaged piece? And it's kind of going. Just a little bit of problem right here. Right in here. Don't want to keep hitting with indirect because that's a lot of pressure on damaged rock. Yeah. That is supposed to be a secret. Let's see. This is gonna work, as long as I don't break it. I got rid of most of the damage. There's a little bit in here. Okay, let's see. That whole ear might break off. See that line in there? We're gonna see if we could do it. I don't know. That cleaned up a lot of it. Usually when I find this stuff, it's like parking gravel. Or really, really damaged in a creek. So I'm kind of used to trying to remove the problem areas. This is a big problem area here. Not sure what I'm going to do about that. The ear might fall off this piece. We'll see though. Maybe I could just keep that as is, that spot. This is a super tricky piece. I'll just do my best with it. This is getting into usable territory here. Let's see, what do I do with my braider? There it is. This ear is definitely going to fall off. See that cave in there? Oop. It's getting to the point where I shouldn't be using the indirect anymore. Yeah. Where's my pressure plaker? Did that do anything? Just gotta be careful at that one spot. It should hold together. Maybe not. That's the best we're gonna do with that spot there. There is a crack in there. Let's just leave that be. And try to get rid of some of this. Mosquitoes are starting to come out. Get out of here. A little bit of a curve to it. Base is a little messed up, but this would work. Normally, because of this damage in the ear here, I would have stopped, but I think that'll hold together. I think. Just got to be careful on the ear. There's a big bump right here. I don't know if I could get rid of it. Let's try. There we go. It's about as good as this one's gonna get. Definitely still work. Man, I didn't think this one would hold together. It almost didn't. It's seeing the base in there. It's all messed up, but you have it now. That's good to go. All right. Where'd that big chunk of rock go? Here it is. Big enough for a blow dart, too small for an arrowhead. So let's try right here. Yeah, I'll work on this one super quick. Make a nice little arrowhead. Some of this is super tough. There we go. When I first started, this is the kind of stuff I was working with, just little pieces that I found in creeks and stuff. Only back then I didn't have the issue stick to make stuff easier. I was doing it all with pressure flaking and Made things way harder for myself. Wish I'd known about the issue stick sooner. This one's gonna have no problem being straight. It's already straight flake. Oddest thing, I actually took a video of it. Kind of looked like some kind of rune stone. Somewhere on my channel, I have a video called "What the Heck Is This?" And it's really weird geometric patterns in the rock that I found. I left it. I did not take it. Spooky. Okay. Take off this edge and make a good triangle here. Gary, this stuff is awesome. I don't know if you saw the knife I made from it, the little hand knife from that same piece of rock I'm working on right now. Came out nice. I'm gonna use this thing until it's resharpened into a nub. I'm gonna use it on everything. See how long it lasts. Okay. Gotta get rid of that little ridge here. What date is the Letchworth napping? There's a rabbit being attacked right now. You hear that? Something is hunting. Let me see if I could run a flake across to get rid of some of that crystal. So if I'm having problems running the flakes far enough, I tend to try this ishy stick. I start near the tip of the problem. Usually that cleans it up. Crushed it. Got rid of about half of it. I think I want to leave just the tiniest bit on. Do one more right here, see how it goes. I'll try one more flake right in the middle, running up there, but it might break in half. We'll see how it goes. Nope, didn't go. This stuff is super tough. Yeah, that's not gonna go like that. I'll try it again now. I made a spot to rest the flaker right there. Hopefully I don't break it. Yeah, I got rid of some of it. I'll keep that. That kind of looks cool. Just finish sharpening it. Man, this one's pretty solid. Wow. Just making sure everything's even and flows correctly. It's a little bit of a problem right there. I might have fixed it. Oop, crushed that. Yeah, that's a nice little point. Cool. And big enough to hunt with. Cool. Yeah, I don't know if you saw this one, Gary. Super thin. This one was a flake point as well, I think. I can't remember. Let's see. I made a bunch today. I have some inside the house as well. Most of them are in my pocket. What do I got? Got that one. Got the crazy freeze damaged one. The one I just made. No, this is the one I just made. I don't remember making this one. Oh, this was the super curved one. And then the nice big blade. I'll put all of these on arrows. And I'm just going to carry this around in my wallet ground the base so it doesn't cut me. Cut tomatoes with it and stuff. Some meat, some boxes. And if there's anything left by the time I hunt something, I'll use it on that as well. All right, I think that's it for me. Check out my other videos, show you how to find this stuff. Long format videos. Ugh. Almost broke my... So hit the thumbs up. I guess thumbs up is that way. Thumbs up. And I think you double click to hit like, I think. I'm not sure if that's right. And subscribe if you want to see more of this. I'm going to be doing live streams as often as I can while I'm in the middle of moving. I'm going to wait to see if there's any more questions before I hit end here. All right, guys. Have a good night. Hit thumbs up.